Hello everyone, this is Dino Chris from Prehistoric Facts, and this is Prehistoric Facts special episode number 201. And we're talking about a predatory dinosaur today. And that predatory dinosaur is Ceratosaurus. And so here's an artist rendition of what Ceratosaurus possibly looked like. This is a really cool design. I love this design. And I think you guys would like this design as well. Information about Ceratosaurus. The name Ceratosaurus means horned lizard or reptile. Length is 17 to 23 feet or 5.2 to 7 meters. Height is 6 feet or 1.8 meters. Weight is 1,000 to 2,000 pounds and lived 161 to 145 million years ago in the late Jurassic period. And the fossils are found in Colorado and Utah in the United States and Portugal in Europe. And the fossils were described by Othniel Charles Marsh in 1884. And so this is during the time of the Bone Wars. Pretty much like right around, say, near, like probably a little bit past the peak of the Bone Wars. And so, yeah, Othniel Charles Marsh discovered Ceratosaurus and named it. And so let's take a look at some images here. And so here's a world map. And so where I have the black circles here, those are where Ceratosaurus fossils have been found. So in the United States, where I have this black circle, you will see a black circle right there where it would be where Wyoming, Colorado, and Utah would actually be. And so, yeah, those were the Ceratosaurus fossils have been found. There has been some reports that some Ceratosaurus fossils have been found in Montana, but I can't be too conclusive about that. So that would actually be is that most Ceratosaurus fossils are found in Wyoming, Colorado, and Utah. And here's a size chart of Ceratosaurus. Now the dinosaur here on this image is kind of raised a little bit higher compared to the human silhouette here, but Ceratosaurus is a medium-sized theropod dinosaur, and so yeah, it's actually a pretty cool. It's still a pretty decent size dinosaur. And down here, you actually have the skeleton of Ceratosaurus. Majority of the fossils, or majority of the bones, have been found of Ceratosaurus. I would probably say the tip of the tail, some bits of the tip of the tail, and some finger bones and some ribs could be missing, but this is not the holotype up here. This is from a discovery that was kind of found in the late 90s and was described in around 2000. And so this is a Scott Hartman drawing here, or Scott Hartman uh, image here that he has done, and he does a great job of skeletal silhouette, like doing the silhouettes of the body and kind of doing the skeletons here, and that's really, really neat. I love his work, Scott Hartman. So shout out to Scott Hartman. More information about Ceratosaurus. It belongs to its own family group, the Ceratosauridae. So it is part of its own family group. It is a primitive type of theropod family, but it is still a really cool theropod family of dinosaurs. And so some features of Ceratosaurus, it's got two blade-like crests above the eyes, and those are for display. And of course, one blade-like crest on the nasal or on the snout of Ceratosaurus, and that's also for display. So these blade-like crests, they're not designed for combat. They're more designed for like to show off, to show to like other members of this other members of its same species. Like say males probably had larger crests on their snout and eyes to display to the females, and females probably had smaller ones. But of course, to actually just to show to other types of dinosaurs in its environment to show what it is. And so yeah, that's what Ceratosaurus has for those crests. And also, it's got thin knife-like teeth in its mouth. When you look at Ceratosaurus, when you actually see the teeth on the lower jaw, they're kind of very similar to other theropod dinosaurs in terms of like overall size and all that sorts of stuff. But when you look at like say the premaxillary teeth, um, they're kind of like normal nubs from other types of predatory dinosaurs without any serrations. But then when you get to the maxillary teeth, so the part of the teeth that are on the upper jaw, you would actually see they're really large. The maxillary teeth are really long. They're really, really long. And so that is really, really cool to see on Ceratosaurus. It's got kind of like a big overbite, a really big overbite. And so that's pretty cool. Now, the one thing about the teeth is that they're not very strong compared to other predatory dinosaurs like Allosaurus or even Tyrannosaurus rex or even some Dromaeosaurs or other types of allosaurs or Carcharodontosaurus like Acrocanthosaurus or Carcharodontosaurus, those types of dinosaurs. These teeth are not designed uh, for like hanging on to the prey as much as possible. They're more designed to take a bite and then have the animal back away. So Ceratosaurus is more of a bite and take a step back, bite, take a step back, because it's not really designed for combat. So it's really more designed of actually doing like a sneak attack more likely. And also another thing about Ceratosaurus, it's got four fingers on each hand, and that's what I mean when I say it's a primitive type of theropod. It comes from a primitive theropod family group. So it's got four fingers on each hand, which compared to other theropod dinosaurs, they got three fingers on each hand, and that's kind of an unusual trait amongst the theropod, but it's still a cool dinosaur nonetheless. And of course, Ceratosaurus is a carnivore. That's because it's got really long knife-like teeth and got those pretty cool claws. Another thing about Ceratosaurus is that, like I said, that it's not designed for combat. Its skeletal design, it's basically designed to, like I said, just attack and back away, because any type of injury would spell really bad results for Ceratosaurus, and so they need to make the move as quickly as possible. And so the environment in where Ceratosaurus lived in would have been warm and humid and somewhat dry. There would have been wet and dry seasons at that point in time. And you would also, in the plants around that time, you'll find trees, ferns, cycads, of course, no grass, no flowers. There would have been plenty of rivers, lakes, and ponds. Other types of animals that were around: insects, amphibians, reptiles, mammals, pterosaurs, and other types of dinosaurs. Birds were somewhat starting to come around in the Jurassic, but they were not totally in North America uh, just yet. And so in Portugal, not quite there yet either, but it was getting pretty close. Now the prey species that Ceratosaurus will be going after Dryosaurus and Othnielia, so dinosaurs that are very similar to each other. They're kind of like the Roadrunner type of dinosaurs where they're very small, but they have really long legs for speed, and they can almost look bird-like in a way. They kind of have a very small little beak in the front and have chewing teeth in the back of their mouth, in the back of their mouths to chew vegetation. And also the other types of dinosaur that Ceratosaurus would go after is Camptosaurus. Camptosaurus would be a pretty substantial prey item for Ceratosaurus and Stegosaurus as well. But I would probably say would actually have to go after the juvenile Stegosauruses more than anything else. Because if I try to go after a healthy adult, that is not a very good idea for Ceratosaurus. Because healthy adult Stegosaurus is very dangerous, and that would be very bad for Ceratosaurus. It would also go after juvenile sauropods, most likely the sauropods that were more likely just hatched, or otherwise about the size of, like, say, a pony or a horse, would actually be pretty good size for Ceratosaurus to take down. And of course, it would eat carrion, dead prey. And so it's an opportunistic predator. Now, it will not go after the really large sauropods because, first and foremost, the healthy adult sauropod on its own is still going to be very dangerous to Ceratosaurus, because, first and foremost, size does matter in that situation, because the first defense for sauropods is their size. They use their size to scare away a lot of predators. And so, yeah, but there was competition though for Ceratosaurus. So there were other predators around at that point in time, like Allosaurus. There was also Torvosaurus and Saurophaganax. So those were dinosaurs that had to keep away from. But even though that possibly it did encounter Allosaurus a little bit more often than Torvosaurus and Saurophaganax. And so Allosaurus was the main rival of Ceratosaurus. And the extinction of Ceratosaurus was mostly due to climate change around 145 million years ago. And so that it's still a debate of what really happened at the end of the Jurassic period. Was it just like kind of like the same way of like the end of the Triassic extinction was more likely that the continents continued to split apart, volcanic activity kept on coming around, and so with plate tectonics, the continents continued to separate, and so Laurasia, the northern continent, which is North America, Europe, and parts of Asia, were actually beginning to break away, whereas the southern continents, with the southern giant continent, which is Gondwanaland, South America, Antarctica, Africa, and India and Australia were beginning to separate as well. But the thing is, it's Ceratosaurus is mostly just from the northern hemisphere, and so the continents continue to spread apart. Sea levels were beginning to rise, especially in like the Portugal part of where Ceratosaurus lived in. And so the sea levels began to rise, so lost the landscape that it would actually been able to find prey and all that, and also got outcompeted by larger and stronger theropods. So the allosaurs uh, really were the dominant predators going forward, and so the allosaurs were really the ones that just took the foothold and took the notch of top predators in the beginning of the Cretaceous period. And so here is a map of the Jurassic period around 152 million years ago. So this is around that kind of time where Ceratosaurus was somewhat in its peak, somewhat. And so where uh, North America is, you can see where the mountain ranges are here. Ceratosaurus would have been around the eastern parts of those mountain ranges, and of course Portugal is is a tiny island that is actually kind of in this vicinity where Laurasia is. You can kind of see tiny islands right around, kind of close to the eastern side of North America. That's where Portugal would have been. And so the next episode would be on February 16th, 2023, and that'll be an extra episode. I'll let you guys know what I'm going to talk about, if it, like a certain topic, or otherwise maybe I might do part two of my collection. I'll let you guys know. And but you can still send me questions about dinosaurs and other prehistoric life by emailing me at dinochrist71@gmail.com. Or go on my Facebook page, Priest Effects of Dinochrist. Like the page, you actually post your questions in the comment section. Please put them in the comment section. Don't put them on Messenger. Messengers for private conversations. So please put your questions in the comment section in the Facebook pages, mainly on any post. And also for YouTubers out there, like the videos, subscribe to the channel. According to my analytics, a lot of guys that are checking out my channel are not subscribed yet. So please feel free to hit that like button, so that way it helps spread the video out to anybody that is interested in dinosaurs and other prehistoric life. And also subscribe and stomp on that notification bell, so that way you can get weekly notifications of every single video that comes out. And so you can get updated on videos that come out weekly. And also for you YouTubers out there, feel free to leave your questions in the comment section, because I do read them all. Your questions do mean a lot in the Q&A episodes. You guys are awesome. And through email, Facebook, and YouTube, you guys are giving me some great questions. So keep up the good work with sending me some great questions for the Q&A episodes. And make sure you keep your questions short and to the point. You can also follow me on Instagram at dino.crest.pf. I post pretty cool stuff on there. You can also follow me on Twitter at CSGRALL. It's my Twitter page. I post pretty cool stuff on there as well. Also, take care of the people around you. Also, for younger people out there, so listen to parents, and teachers, and guardians. It's the best motivation you could have for a good education. It's very important to have a good education. With a good education, you get a good job in the future. That's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time.